There you are. I couldn't find you. You were hidden behind a couple of tabs. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Happy Monday. Today is the 9th, Monday, June 9th. And it's time to have some fun. So, welcome to this morning's conversation. And my name is Sean Murphy, for those of you on YouTube. I'm an international speaker and trainer. I've stood on stage in 30 plus countries, translated into over 40 languages. I've done conversations at a variety of levels, from working with CEOs and C-suites to the powerful profession of network marketing. And today's conversation is going to be about the master key system. That is by Charles Hannel. And one of the things most people don't know Charles Hannel, they don't know about his work. Napoleon Hill credited Charles as one of his mentors, someplace that he learned to have a new insight into things. So we're going to spend some time chatting about a little bit about the master key system that he talked about. You can find that videos on YouTube. You can find content and information and books and PDFs and all of that kind of stuff. So this is a philosophy that really changed the thing. Dorothea Brand was a female trainer and speaker, probably the, I say, largest, most known female speaker back at the time of the early 1900s. She was an incredible speaker and trainer as well, Dorothea Brand. So this is about the foundation. This has shaped the personal development industry, what Charles did, probably as much as anybody, right? He helped launch Napoleon Hill and create a variety of things. One of Hill's mentors, Carnegie, right? That's the name we know about. We don't hear often about Charles Hannel. So what is this conversation about? Why is it going to be valuable? Because it's, whether or not you realize it, everyone has a creative power. And this creative power of thought exists with you every day. Just think about that. How many times a day are you tasked with thinking of a solution, thinking of something that's not there, whether it's creating a new path, right? As you're on your drive to work, you get a detour and you say, I wonder how I'm supposed to. Now I get it, we have GPS. In those days when we didn't, that it automatically rerouted, we used to have to think, okay, well, if I go down to Smith Street and I turn on Miller Street, I can get over to Flower Garden, right? You could come up with a new path, a new way. You do that on a regular basis, right? Because we have a lot of habits. And the reason the brain has habits is because it needs to be aware of the subtle differences between today and yesterday. Because I can promise you, you are not sitting or laying in the exact same spot you laid in yesterday. When you walk to the bathroom or to the kitchen or to the living room, you are not walking in the exact same steps. There's slight differences. The pattern knows, the brain knows the pattern of walking, knows the pattern of recognizing the room and the floor and all of those things. So how do we become available of this idea of thought? Well, Hannel's teaching give us a systematic, proven method for using this power intentionally. That's the key. Intentionally, right? To create success, to create abundance, to create health and happiness and alignment, along with using the universal laws, right? Wallace D. Wattles talks about in his book, Science of Getting Rich, the 7 universal laws. So in this little short conversation this morning, you're going to gain a deeper understanding of how your thoughts shape your reality. Think about that, right? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. That's what we're doing on a daily basis. Wayne Dyer said that, right? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. What if you had a deeper understanding of how your thoughts shape your reality? Your thoughts don't shape my reality. They can influence it. They don't shape it. How do I know that? Because you could tell me something and I choose not to do it. I could choose not to implement. I could choose not to apply your messaging. That happens a lot in the personal development world. People tell you things that you should do and you believe they might work and you don't do it. So understanding that there's a proven method of intentionality and the power of intentionality. The other thing that I'll hopefully get across to you is techniques to focus and direct your mind. Some practices to help with mental clarity. We've done that. Concentration and purpose, a mindset aligned with universal principles of success. So again, this is out of Charles Hannel book, The Master Key. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's not about disciplined mental science. It's about this understanding of using the rules and the laws that exist to transform your life from within to outward, right? By the end of this training, you'll be equipped to start these timeless principles and help yourself with relationships and finances and personal growth. So, that being said, this conversation, right? It's live on YouTube, so you'll be able to go watch the recording. You can take some notes. I'd encourage you to take some notes. Here's the opening quote. You must first have the knowledge of your power. Second, the courage to dare. And third, the faith to do. Boy, that sounds like the philosophies of so many, right? You must first have the knowledge of your power. Second, the courage to dare. Third, the faith to do. So if we have the courage, a lot of us want to do things, we're willing to step out there. Do we lack the faith? Do we lack the knowledge of our own awareness? Because you're going to go do something today. The question is will it produce the result that's closer or in more alignment with your dream? That's where frustration comes in. That's where madness comes in, disappointment comes in, depression comes in. As we have a thought, we do an action that's nowhere clearly leading us towards that thought, and we're like, I'm the problem. That's where shame kicks in. I'm the problem. I don't know why this happens to me. Why don't they like me? That's not the real question. Do I like me? Do I take care of me? Do I know my own power? Right? Hannel teaches, Charles F. Hannel teaches that thought is creative, mind is cause, and the universal mind connects us to the infinite intelligence. So it comes down to, what are you thinking? Most often when we ask people, hey, what are you thinking? Nothing. They're not lying. I heard a statistic said by a public speaker one time, so it's probably true, right? 1% of the population think. 2% think they think. The other 97% would rather die than think. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I know the results seem to be about that. 95% of the people struggle with their wealth, struggle with their health, struggle to want more. So how do they get out of that? How do they get out of that jam? It takes thought. It takes thinking. So here's the core principles from Hannel's book. 1, thought is cause. The law of causation. Thought precedes form. Right? There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made that permeates and penetrates and fills the inner spaces. A thought held in that substance is produced by the form. That comes out of Wallace D. Wattles. they're all about the same time. Most people don't know about Charles Hannel. Most people don't know about Waddles. So thought precedes form. If you look at your current form, results, be it your weight, be it your finances, be it your relationship, be it your society you hang around, that all comes from thought. Oh, well, you don't know. My life has been tough. That's how you're thinking. That's awesome. What you think about and think about, you bring about. All of this stuff is, you can say it 1,000 different ways. The reality is where you're at, it's because of your thought. Congratulations. When any object or purpose is clearly held in thought, this is Charles Hannel's conversation. When any object or purpose is clearly held in thought, its perception is tangible and visible. Its perception in tangible and visible form is merely a question of time. Isn't that cool? So if you hold an object or purpose clearly in thought, its perception in tangible and visible form is merely a question of time. It's the gestation period. Bob Proctor would say, how long does it take to grow a dream? What's the gestation period of a goal? Nobody really knows. What can influence the time of a goal is intensity and emotion. So that's why sometimes when we're mad and sad and frustrated and aggravated and agitated, good morning, Molly, we get more agitated, frustrated, and aggravation because we're highly emotional. When we're highly excited and enthusiastic and joyful, it's rare that we keep that state, which is why the air seems to get let out of the balloon fairly quickly of our happiness. So if we understand that an object clearly, what does this mean? We have to be specific in our determination in the thing we want. When I say specific, if I were to ask you your goal and you were to give me the long version of your goal, not the short version, the couple of sentences or 3 sentences, you were to give me the paragraph of your goal, your DMP. Does it include the 5 senses? Does it include all 5 senses? Do you hear it? Do you smell it? Do you taste it? What's the benefit of it? Who benefits from, right, playing it deep? Who benefits from your goal being achieved? So how do you apply this idea of the law of causation? Be aware of your habitual thoughts. Did you wake up this morning and find yourself in a state of joy, state of ecstasy, or a state of misery? A state of remembering who you are by running all of the stories of your past. That's what consciousness is usually for most people, for the majority of people. When they wake up in the morning, the first thing they do is they validate and verify that they are this energy source of unlimited potential locked in suffering. Most people grab their phone and start to scroll and remember that they have all of the challenges that they have. They're not enough. They don't have enough. They look at other people's stuff and stories, or their news feed is designed to reflect what they currently seek or continuously seek. And you set your tone for the day. How many of you woke up this morning and wrote out your dream life, your DMP? Well, I'm already tired and I'm waking up late, and those are all part of setting the story. If you arrived earlier in your conscious awareness, half an hour earlier, spent a half hour still lying in bed, setting your intentions for the day, thinking of all of the gratitude you have for today, for your life, replayed or read your inventory of successes, AKA your success list, you wouldn't recognize your days. I promise you. So negative thinking equals negative outcomes. And positive, definite thinking equals desired outcomes. It's not rocket science. Where you're at, congratulations, it's your thought. I had a friend of mine who used to say, congratulations, where you're at, it's your fault. Yeah, it is. But when you say it's your fault, we instantly go into shame. We trigger shame. Yes, you're right. I know I should be doing more. And that doesn't necessarily let us step out of our own way. So I kind of upgraded it to congratulations, it's your thought. There's nothing wrong with your thought. It's producing 100% what you think about. That's the part when you realize that, when that sinks into that brilliant brain of yours, when you activate your unlimited potential that you have available, when you start to vibrate in the potential that's available to you. How much potential is available to you right now? 50% of what you're capable of? You can only have 50% of what you're capable of, that potential. It doesn't work that well. It does not work that way. We have a garden here on the ranch, and the first crop that's coming in is the yellow squash, the crook-necked yellow squash, right? It's the yellow squash with that little bent hook at the top. We must have already picked 50 of them, 50 yellow squash. We planted 2, 4, 6 plants, 7 plants. And we'll have another dozen again here today. What's the potential of that? What's the potential of the seed? So we planted 8 seeds. 8 seeds have already produced 50, 40 solutions, 40 squash. And inside each squash is how many seeds? That's abundance. That's nature using the potential. You plant a seed today. What's going to be the result of it today? That's why if you wake up in gratitude and close your day with the best things that happened, you're kind of bookending your day in gratitude. And you set your stage for tomorrow. Jim Rohn said, don't begin your day till it's finished on paper. I know a lot of people set their intentions the night before so they can give themselves some homeroom study time while they're sleeping and get their mind to move into action while they're sleeping. So here's another lesson, right? So number 1, core principle, thought is cause. Number 2, mind is universal. The universal mind of which we are an individual expression. If you've ever sat down with somebody and had a conversation, and between the two of your brilliant brains, you created a third solution, a solution that didn't exist before, AKA the mastermind. When 2 minds get together and a third is created, that third mind that exists because of the influence of the 2 is called a mastermind. The universal is the life principle of every atom. There's a universal mind which we are an individual expression of. And the quote from Hannel is, the universal is the life principle of every atom. And man is the channel through which the universal operates, the universal mind. So the universal is the principle in every atom. That exists. There is a force, there is an energy, there is a something that holds everything together. It exists in every atom and every cell in your body. And man, you, us, and women are the channel through which the universal operates. So what your body thinks about, neuroencoding, the universe delivers. So conscious thought to align with this universal power. Use your conscious thought, use your awareness, start asking for bigger. How big are you asking for? How big did you ask for this morning? Practice mental silence and concentration to attune to the higher wisdom. That one line is probably the secret of all secrets, and yet few do it. We never seem to calm down the noise. When I ask people who are struggling in their business, what was your intention in meditation today? I didn't meditate today. Okay. When you listen to the people who have come from very little and have created a lot more than a little, one of the basic foundational activities they do on a regular basis is meditation. Those who seem to have the most success are usually doing it about 2 hours a day. Usually it's a 2-hour block. See, one of the things is if you practice silence and concentration to attune to a higher wisdom, the brain doesn't really disengage for about the first 45 minutes. You're literally has this most powerful computing creation orb of neurons and electrons, more neural connections than there are stars in our universe. That's a lot. And to simply think that, okay, I'm going to meditate. I'm meditating for 5 minutes. It's a good start. There's not a thing wrong with it. The challenge is we expect too much from a 5-minute slowing down of the vehicle. We haven't even gotten to a place and a space where we can begin to receive the new ideas, the new concepts. So I would offer you, begin some deeper meditation. And when I say deeper, simply a longer time sitting still. If you have a challenge sitting with yourself for an hour doing nothing, might be a clue you're not good company for yourself, which means the one who has the dream, the one who wants to sit quietly, isn't the one who's bombarding you with thoughts, bombarding you with old stories, bombarding you with lack, bombarding you with these ideas and concepts that keep you stuck. So that was the second principle from Charles Hannel's book. The master key was mind is universal. Third one, visual and concentration. Visualization, blueprinting your desire of the mind. Can you sit down, close your eyes, and become wildly excited about your mission, your DMP, your goal, your ideal life, your desire for today? When I talk to people and they're frustrated and they're lethargic and they're, I don't want to say depressed, but they sound disappointed in life, I can tell you they didn't set their intentions. I shouldn't say that. They definitely set their intentions to be disappointed, frustrated, and aggravated. It's the only thoughts running through their head. My dad used to say, listen, nobody can get you upset without your permission. So if somebody did something that made you upset, that's your problem. It's really your problem. If they did something to you, not just on social media where people post some fascinating things and it triggers a response from you, and sometimes a good one, sometimes a not so good one. If you get frustrated looking at social media, if you get frustrated looking at TV, if you get excited looking at social media, if you get excited looking at TV, you are not in control of your mind. Wait, what? If that external stimuli changes your state, you're not in control. You are not in control. Period. End of story. Full stop. You lack control. You gaslight people. Oh, well, so what are you going to do about it? That's because you want control. And what most people are looking for are leaders. Most people, that's why they're called world leaders, not world social influencers. People want to be around leaders. The challenge is that they will be led in frustration, aggravation, delay, lack, suffering. That's where the money is if you can lead a group in suffering, you can win. Most people. Then there's other business models where you can lead people in joy and you could win. The news. I wouldn't say the news, for the most part, is leading people in joy. They're leading people in suffering. Usually it's other people suffering, but mirror neurons are triggered. And in order for you to know what suffering is for somebody else, you have to understand what suffering is. I go to France. I turn on the TV and all I can see is the images. I can't understand the language. See, in order for you to be where you're at, somebody's speaking the language you want. Wait, what? In order for you to arrive where you want, somebody's speaking the language you want. So if you're frustrated, aggravated, and sad, you only heard words that frustrated, aggravated you, and made you sad. If you're happy, you heard words that made you happy, joyful. The question is if we hear this, if we have wonderful experiences in life, if we have moments where we're in complete joy, if we can have memories where it inspires us and gets us so excited. Here's an odd question. Why would we ever stop thinking that stuff? Well, you become too much. You're not being realistic. If you could have thoughts of joy, if you could sit in some of your best memories, and if the universal mind is available to you, doesn't it bring you more things that keep you in that state? Doesn't it have to bring you more things? If you are staying in that state, aren't those the only things you can see, hear, touch, taste, feel? The answer is yes. Absolutely yes. Undeniably yes. Universally yes. Scientifically yes. So if you check your current state, it's because of your thoughts. So daily practice of seeing and feeling yourself, your goal already achieved. Where have we heard that 1,000 times? What you think about and think about, you bring about. In the Bible, it says, I'm not sure where in the Bible it says it, but I heard it says this phrase, I set before you life and death. Choose life. I got to ask if the basic fundamental of existence is to live, why would they have to add the cheat code at the end of that statement? Isn't it universally a desire to live? I think the answer to that is yes. If you test your body, if I were to take you out into the pond here on the lake and hold you underwater to where you can't breathe and you want to live, even if you said, I want you to hold me under the water, your body will resist. You cannot override your body's desire to live. You can't. You don't have, if you just are of a sound state of mind and I took you out into the water and held you underneath, you'd be like, okay, I can hold my breath for 5 minutes. Awesome. At minute 6, you're starting to kick, fight, and you want to live. The challenge is that we live in this soft space called the ever-present generous moment, and we don't do anything with it. We live in a comfort zone, which is really uncomfortable. It's painful. If you're in pain right now, that's your comfort zone. If you're in joy right now, that's your comfort zone. So what is your visualization? What is your concentration, sustained focus? How long have you sat down and really just focused on your dreams? Oh, I don't have time for that. Jim Rohn would say that's a clue. If you don't have time for that, I bet you don't have it. I bet you're not close. Sustained focus, the force that changes your thought. Sustained focus. Deep work. Right? Robert, I can't, begins with a C. It'll come to me in a second. The book Deep Work. We spend so much time in shallow work. Social media has put us in so much shallow work. All of the distractions, the cell phone, the TikTok, the social media, the reels, the you name it. We do such shallow work. Science says that a goldfish has a longer attention span than us. The average attention span of a goldfish is 10 seconds. We have been wired and triggered because of social media, because of news clips, because of the way we want that dopamine hit. Our attention span as a species is about 6 seconds. 6 seconds. It's because the brain is looking for two things. Will this kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? And if we constantly change the pattern, the brain needs to stay focused on us. If you look at ads for movies and trailers, see how long they keep you on one particular frame. Good morning, Molly. So mental pictures and emotional intensity. A lot of people have a dream board. One of the things I teach my students is when you see your dream board, don't look at it without engaging with it. And what I mean by that is physically touching it. And when you touch that image on your dream board, it's up on the wall and you go and you touch it, there should be an emotional charge in your body. If not, that's just paper on a wall. That's just paper on the wall. If there's not a story that goes with that, each one of those images, a full-blown story. I have people write 1,000-word story for every image on their dream board. When they learn that to kind of pass that class, they get to write 1,000-word story. They put just the big things that are on there. They have 10 pictures. That's a 10,000-page story, 10,000-word story. That's like half a book, right? 20,000 words. That's a decent sized book. That's a 50, 60-page book. How cool is that? You know, most people go, yeah, I want the watch. Why? Who benefits? What's the story? Who do you tell when you get it? What happens when the first person sees it? How excited are you? Do you let them wear it? See, this is what changes the way you look at universal mind. What are you thinking about? Okay, I'm spending way too much time on each of these. So here's an exercise. Here's some implementation and activation. Sit still, spine straight. Now, you don't have to do this now. This is for you to go back and watch the video for a simple exercise for you to do. Breathe. Now, this is Charles Hannel, turn of the last century, 100 years, 1900s. Breathe deeply and rhythmically. We know from science that when you focus on your breathing, that is one of the mammalian brain centers, automatic nervous system things to do, is focus on your breathe, is to breathe. And when you take it out of the mammalian brain, the alligator brain, the even deeper below unconsciousness, and bring it to the consciousness, to your prefrontal cortex, your brain says, wait a minute, there's something we need to pay attention to. So if you want to really get centered, begin to focus on your breathing. Feel it in your body. One of the teachings that helped me a lot is to imagine you're watching the air right here at the edge of your nose going in and leaving. And what happens is in that space between breaths is where your awareness starts to allow the universal mind to flow in. Because if you're focusing on your breathing and the air's going in, and then you hold that breath for 2-3 seconds, there's nothing for the mind to focus on. And it literally, in anticipation of waiting for the exhale, is where you begin to open and connect to the universal mind, to access that part of you, that higher version of you. Right? What's your intention when you go into this state of meditation? Do you have it set out? My goal is to create an international audience. I always for the longest time, probably 2 or 3 years, as I was building my network marketing business, I always wanted to have, my goal was, my visualizations were, is to step into a room and the room was completely full. I had different size rooms, 100-seat room, 400-seat room, 1,000-seat room. And that when I stepped into that room and I was called on stage, when they said my name, welcome to the stage, Sean Murphy. One of my dreams, one of the visualizations I ran on a regular basis was that 99% of the people in that room were part of my organization. Just part of it. Well, half a decade ago, that happened. That was a visualization I had. It happened effortlessly. It happened in a way I never anticipated it to happen. And it happened rapidly. When I say rapidly, inside of 12 months, we had just over 8,000 people inside of a year. Inside of 2 years, we had close to 30,000. Every one of those people were part of my organization. Didn't matter the country I went to, Panama, Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, 99% of the room. And these were corporate events. These were corporate events, corporate sponsored events. 99% of the people in those rooms were in my organization. I was the entire market. I wasn't, the organization was. Because somebody came to me with needs, wants, and desires. We went and had some fun. But that was the visualization I had, that me, and I didn't know it was going to be in a Latin world. I didn't actually ever hear their voices. I only ever heard my voices when I would speak on stage, and I would hear the applause, which is pretty much what happened when I went there. My voice translated. I didn't hear the translation. So I say that, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What are you dreaming about? So visualization drill. Visualize one specific goal vividly and in detail. Engage the 5 senses in visualization. We just talked about that. This is how fundamental this is. This is how old this methodology is. Right? You could probably pull statements and teachings out of the Bible about how the 5 senses impact your day. And then repeat this daily with faith and expectancy. See, most people have a dream and they go, yeah, that'll never happen though. So let me wrap this up. I can be what I will to be. I can be what I will to be. Your current state, your current experience, your current understanding, your current who you are, where you are right now, is what you willed to be. That's the ownership. That's the ownership that you are going to be required to take control over. It's congratulations, where you're at, it's your thought. This philosophy isn't abstract, it's practical. And success deepens on daily mental disciplines and faithful application. Man is the architecture of his own fortune. Right? So, what did you just hear? The power of thought as cause. Your mind is the architect of your life. You learned about the universal mind, the infinite source you can consciously align with, and the importance of visualization and concentration. The tools to impress your desires upon the universal thought. Right? Wallace D. Waddell said, there's a thinking stuff from which all things are made. Right? Practical exercises to quiet the mind. We went through that visualization. And this is a practice, not a one-time lesson. Hannel taught, you can be what you want to be. What do you want to be? If you're frustrated, aggravated, agitated, lacking some financial resources. That's a thought process. Oh, well, it's not that easy. My mentor would say, "You're right. I'm rich. Let's move on." So there's the conversations, a brief snippet on Charles Hannel's Master Key. Where's the book? I had it printed out. I had a PDF. And did you know that you can, when you get PDFs, you can put them into Canva, and you can then send it off into Canva's print, right? And whatever that PDF is, it'll come back to you in a book, a nice book. Oh, there it is. Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry, Molly. So there's the master key, right? And so this came from Canva. They printed it, nice square back, right? No title on it, but yeah, this says, look, left blank, right? This came out of the print shop from Canva. So I don't know what it was, $30, $40, but that's from a PDF. So there you go. Love you tons. I'm going to have some conversation with my inner circle, the people who show up on a daily basis. It's good to see y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Cal Newport. Yes, thank you. Well, that's deep work. Who was I? Oh, Robert Cialdini. That's Persuasion. That's the book I was thinking of. That's the name I was thinking. That's why I couldn't get it. Cal Newport's deep work. Robert Cialdini is Persuasion. And so thank you, Heather. Questions, comments, thoughts, takeaways. What'd you learn? What'd you like? What'd you learn? What'd you like? Good morning. Good morning. Hey, AJ. Good morning.
Hey, let me see if I can bring this up here. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm a PG-18 today. It's because I just got home from surgery. I ended up having it, actually. When I came there, the guy said, "Oh, well, this is just too little for us to even have difficulty about,
Right.
treating it or whatever." And wasn't two stitches, it was maybe dozen stitches or whatever. But I actually just sent an email and I CC'd you in so you can see it.
Okay.
It's closed off completely, actually.
Is that good or bad?
That is very good, yes.
Oh, awesome. And so closed off from the surgery or prior to?
No, so closed off from the surgery. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And was that a desire you wanted?
I just wanted it closed off, and it is now.
Awesome. So it is now. Awesome. Congratulations.
It's great. And actually, two more things happened. Actually, three more things. The first thing is that you are reminding me a lot of my dad because when someone sends you a message and you just like it, I can't begin on to explain to you how frustrating that is. Okay? I cannot even begin to explain to you how frustrating that is because I'd be like, "Hey, I did this." Like, I mean, it's just okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop yapping about that. Two things happened, major stuff. I did work on the DMP. I altered it to the seven-figure
Okay.
version, as you suggested. And I gotta say one thing. Remembering back in December when we've done DOS and you told us how the brain cannot comprehend, or I mean, it can, but it's very difficult
Right.
to comprehend 5x or 10x. You know how they say you got 100x or whatever. Sure, buddy, but that's not
Yep.
gonna feel real. I gotta say, this was the first time ever that I've sat down and worked on my seven-figure DMP idea, and I felt totally comfortable with it. I was totally comfortable. I was like, yeah, sure, this is a standard, this is normal, and I just wrote it out. Um, and a part of it that I sent to you as well that you liked as well is is giving. And what chat has done for me is that I uploaded my previous version, the whole thing,
Mhm.
and he kind of made some arrangements and some edits to make it a bit more powerful now, make it a bit more direct, make it a bit more world classy, right? In terms of language. And one of the lines is just carved up because I gotta say I was guilty as charged the other day as I was thinking about my wound, as I was emailing the doctor and so on. I began thinking to myself, you know what? I need to go out there and I need to give something because I need this healed and I need the karmic points back to me. And I realized that's not really how it's gonna work. And I couldn't really shake this idea off for a couple days. To give without, I mean, sure, I do know it's gonna come back from another front probably, but not to give it because I know that something's gonna come back to me, rather just to give it because I want to give it. And luckily, you wouldn't believe what happened, but luckily, there was one specific line in my new version of the DMP that says, "I give right now solely due to the reason I have the power to change someone's life now." And as I started thinking about it from that perspective, changes the way you look at things, right? It felt awesome. And then this morning, when the AC people showed up, they wrapped up probably 2 hours worth of work in 45 minutes. And I gave them each $20 or the equivalent of $20 in Serbia. And they're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I bought them breakfast because they were rushing from another job site to me so they can,
Mhm.
finish as quick as possible. Gave them each $20, bought them breakfast. And they're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. We usually, I mean, I don't know how to translate this, but they usually eat probably the cheapest possible breakfast out there. I mean,
Sure.
they just buy a loaf of bread and they buy some kind of ham or whatever that's the cheapest out there, or whatnot. Then I bought them some pies and some desserts and whatnot. And the guy who was apparently in charge, I mean, he was obviously in charge. Right as he saw me open my front door, he was like, "Did you have a motorcycle accident?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "My son died from a motorcycle accident a year ago." I held him in my arms as he passed away. When people drop a bomb like that on you, I really didn't know what to say at the moment. I'm just like, sitting, I'm just like, I was sitting there and I really didn't know what to say. I was speechless. And as they wrapped up the work, I gave them the money for the AC, gave them the extra money for them, and gave them breakfast. And I said to him, you know what? I hope that you found a way to move forward. I really didn't know what to say at the moment, when you dropped this bomb on me. I really didn't know what to say. I'm sorry. I only want to say that I hope that you found a way to move forward. And he said, I did. And I said, well, I wish you all the best. And he looked at me and he looked me dead in the eye. And he was like, don't you ever sit on a motorcycle again. And I said, Pops, I won't. Thank you for the good wishes. I won't. Definitely out of that. Never doing that again. Right. And I said, I wish you all the best. He said, thank you, you too. And they went on their way. And then I went and, and had surgery and came home. And I was like, I want to tell you about this because this was a huge breakthrough for me. These couple of awarenesses that happened today and yesterday with the AC people and with the change the way you look at things about giving and so on. They were major stuff, man. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Major stuff.
So, do you believe you gave to this father?
I do believe, yes.
And what did it cost you?
Just not even a spot on my checking account.
It cost you to be present.
Oh,
I mean, it didn't cost you anything. It didn't cost you financially. It cost you emotionally. You
yes.
didn't know what to say. It was a bomb. It wasn't a bomb. It was just a simple statement. It had an impact because of the emotion you tied to what the language was. Imagine if he said, I hated my son. I held him in his arms and I'm glad he died.
That's yeah.
That's same content, different story.
Yeah.
So how did he know you had a motorcycle accident? How did he, I mean, what gave him the clue? Probably the same thing that was tore up on him that caused him to die. The 6 millimeters that saved you killed him.
Yeah.
So tell me you're lazy. Tell me you're lack. Tell me you don't have the reason to be here. Tell me you don't have a bigger calling. And I'll say, okay.
Yeah, he told me that his son's lungs punctured and
Okay.
ruptured, and that's why he died.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, shit, man. Sorry for my language, but
So hang on. So you're alive. Why go into the energy of how he told his story? I get it. I understand it. But now you have to think of, I could have punctured my lungs, and you're going to go into a spiral. I would offer you to not do that. I would offer you to say that that's a story that could have been a story about you. And it's not. So now you have to determine what's the vibrational state. Two things. One, the dad got to tell you something that he couldn't have told his son. So accept it, right? Don't you ever get on a motorcycle. Okay. He says, I don't want to lose another friend. He liked you. You bought him breakfast, blah, blah, blah. You got him to think about his son. You got him to think about good memories of his son. You got him to be emotional just by being present. The other people who were working on the air conditioning didn't have any emotional state in that, other than the fact that maybe they knew the kid. So my point is, yes, I was given a reminder. Today was a reminder for you, not for him, that you have something big to do. You have something, we all have something very big to do. We all do. This isn't an isolated incident with AJ. This is for all of us. Imagine somebody coming to your door and saying, my dreams died and I held them in my arm because I didn't take control of them. This will be the story on your deathbed. Gentleman does one of the teachings. He was the general in Transformers, and he was one of the main guy, not the main guy, but like second or third on the list of main people in the TV show 24. And I can't think of his name. He's part of our mastermind. He comes in, pops in every now and then. But he would talk about, one of the things he does is he says, I teach people to have a conversation with what he calls their death day self. You have 30 minutes left on this planet. That version of you is about to die. What do you say? What's the things you want said? What's the things you want taught? You're going to pass away. Imagine if this was yesterday and you had 30 minutes to have a conversation with yourself. What would you say? It's called the death day self conversation. Oh, well, that's not exciting. Well, neither is living average. So you were given a chance to have a reminder. And here's the thing. This happened before or after you became comfortable with your 7-figure story?
After.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shocking.
I did the work yesterday, and then this happened.
Wow. So you still have the same comfort with your 7-figure story? No, there's a whole new twist. Now you can say, wow, okay, so this is why I'm here. For right now, I believe this is why I'm here, because what I can do with the 7 figures. It's not about keeping it. Every day we fill up a red bucket. Maybe you've seen Michelle post on Facebook. Do you have Facebook?
I don't.
You do?
I don't. I'm not a boomer, man.
Okay, no, but you have a listing on it. Because I know I'm connected to you.
Oh, I think I do have a profile.
Yeah.
I just don't ever, go
Oh,
there.
so you don't like any of my stuff?
I like it on Instagram.
You don't like any of my stuff on Facebook, so I should assume that you don't like me, and that should aggravate me because you don't like my stuff, even though you have a profile and don't use it. See how silly that sounds?
No.
See how silly that sounds? You like my stuff. Boy, that aggravates me. That's your problem, not mine.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine you just in there. Oh, this is awesome, and then just going on your way doing something.
It's temporary. What about you didn't like give me the keys to the cathedral. You just told me what you did. Awesome. You're moving forward. What am I supposed to do? Wipe your butt now? Oh, the baby walk. Oh, that's so wonderful.
Well, I suppose that's better than replying with okay.
Yeah.
That's even worse. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank
So here's next time you give me something great, I'll go average.
you. Just do AVG. Don't even write out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a matching one there.
You go. Congratulations. Awesome. Awesome. So the key is that you were reminded today, whenever we have these epiphanies, these awakenings, we have these kind of punches in the nose. And we have to become aware that this is the brain activating its defense mechanism. Literally, it is activating its defense survival mechanism so we don't have to step into the unknown. The pain of the known is more comfortable than the pain of the unknown. And any one of us who are stepping out of our comfort zone, of our emotional state, is going to step into some place that we have no idea. It's called uncertainty. The majority of people are looking for significance and certainty. What do people who are addicts, who have no control over their addiction, what are they looking for? Certainty, their next hit, and significance. You should take care of me because I'm in pain. I'm an addict. I've got problems. You should let me, I can handle it. You should let me handle it. They're looking for significance and certainty. Somebody who's joyful, who's constantly moving and shaking and changing up the world, entrepreneurs, significance and certainty. It's why some people who are wildly on their path of success, people are like, man, they're just a jackhole. They're an a-hole. It's all about them. Well, I can tell you, that's the only thing you're doing right now is where you're at. It's all about you. If you're relying on somebody to tell you what to do, your story is, I don't want to be responsible for my own decisions. It sucks until you cross over and you're like, so this is what I think about and think about and bring about, and I get what I want. Isn't that cool? Love it, love it, love it. Congratulations on your awareness. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? Scooby Dooby Doo, ba 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 boom, 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 boom. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Happy Monday.
Happy, is it Monday? It is Monday.
I
Happy
hope,
Monday.
I hope it's Monday. I think it's Monday.
I have no idea.
How are you today, Sean?
Outstanding.
Nice. Nice to hear that consistency. Timing is crazy. Timing is crazy that you would be talking about this morning. Yes. Coincidences, synchronicities, whatever term you want to call it.
Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous.
Yeah. So couldn't sleep last night and turned on YouTube and was watching a Mel Robbins interview. And it was all this. It was all this in a different package and a different title.
Yep.
But it was all this. So standing up, paying attention, and the phrase that you used, oh my gosh, what was it? I said I was going to put it on my big sticky notes, and now I've lost it. What I will be. Was that it?
Hold please. I'll go back to my notes. I'll find it.
I think it was I live what I will to be.
There we go. Something like that. Yes. And so that's going to go on some of my big sticky notes to put around. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you. Thank you.
I can be what I will to be.
I can be what I will to be. That was it. I can be what I will to be. And thank you, AJ, for sharing your awarenesses and your experiences. Because it's universal. It might be in an AJ package, but it applies to her and what she is going to be working with today.
So last night, mine is nowhere near as emotional as AJ's, still a package. Last night, probably midnight, I've already been tucked away in bed, Beamish is in bed, and Michelle kind of frantically, I can hear her. You know what it sounds like when somebody frantically opens a door? You can just tell that was a frantic open. And Michelle says to me, "Did we put in Gizmo?" Like a fireman, probably 30 seconds dressed and out the door. We didn't put in Gizmo. He was still out on his lead outside. Now, it was close to his gate, so he wasn't freaking out that he was over in another side of the driveway in a pasture all by himself. But I ran up there. Ran up there, and he was there, and he was looking. You could tell he was like, "Oh, great." So what I'm saying is that this calm, emotional, comfortable, had a great weekend, lots of rain, got stuff done, setting my intentions. And my intentions were to have a peaceful, calm sleep with an incredible morning, all of that stuff. And no, that's not a problem. It's not as emotional as what we heard the dad say to AJ. But boy, I got to tell you, your animal is out. You're like, oh my gosh, right? So that was a kind of a stirring moment. Now, the good news is when I went up there and I was talking to Gizmo and I said, I'm sorry, I apologize. And he kind of wouldn't come near me. And then he finally, I guess he figured I paid enough price, because he comes over and he rubs his nose between my legs. That's how I know he's like excited and his little tail wags. So yeah, he was mad at me at first, but then I couldn't go back to sleep, probably fall asleep till the last time I saw the clock was about 3 a.m. Just that adrenaline rush, right? So yeah, when we have these moments where adrenaline flows through our body, it literally rewires us. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm glad you saw the Mel Robbins stuff, and I'm glad this is in harmony with it, because Jim Rohn would say that's a clue.
Oh, it is a big clue, flashing neon sign. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. It's good to have
Appreciate
you back now that you've done your 28 days, and good to hear your voice again.
Yeah, I'm actually starting again today, but just in a different time frame.
Why would you do that again? Why would you do that crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs exercise again?
Because I did not achieve the results that I wanted the first round.
Okay, so don't stub your toe. Reframe that. Because you're setting yourself up to not achieve it the second round either.
Oh, I can
Did you achieve any results?
I can do better this time.
Nope, I wouldn't even say that.
The results that I achieved last time was awareness.
Okay. And I want more of that.
Oh, absolutely. I want more of that.
So that's why you do this. You set your intention. I didn't achieve my results. Your intention is to not achieve them this time either. That's the intention. That's what we're telling the universe. I had incredible results. I'm curious to see the improvement that's available.
Thank you for that reframe.
Say it's you're going to go do the same thing. Doesn't it change the state you start the same thing in?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the key. That's Jim Rohn would say your last version was a clue. Your first statement was a clue. The beatings will continue till morale improves. Right?
That always makes me laugh. Yes.
So you 28 days, you learned so much flexibility. Listen, was your day 28 better than your day 1?
No,
It wasn't?
no, it wasn't.
Why wasn't it? Were you doing more?
I was doing more. Yes.
Okay, and it was still a struggle.
It was such a
So success climbing to the top of the mountain is always going to be a struggle every step. The view gets better.
sure.
So was day 28 worse than day 1?
No, it was not worse. It was not worse.
Hey, we have to become aware. Day 28 became your starting line, not your finish line. Day 1 was your finish line for I'm not doing this. I'm going to begin something I've not done. So you ended sedentary. Not that you were ever sedentary, but you ended not being a part of a workout community. And you started that. Then day 28 came along and you ended that. And you started, I'm going to work on my own. And today, or wherever day that was, you said, I want to be back in the community. I'm going to stop this aloneness. Shouldn't be easy. You're rewiring 4 decades of being a student.
I agree. I agree. Thank you.
Set your intention for this one. The results I had were brilliant. I had so much new awareness. I'm ready for more.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know it may sound sophomoric or childish or, well, that doesn't change anything. I promise you, it changes everything at a cellular nature. We keep working on the macro part of our success, and it's the micro that's killing us. Everyone can set a big goal. Why don't you achieve it? Your body, period, end of story. The way your body doesn't move. Did they teach you any new exercises? I mean, did you really learn any new exercises?
No.
No. So then what the hell? Why would you go do it? This is all about learning new. Did you learn new form? Maybe 1 or 2 things, but did you really learn new form?
No.
No. Wow. So I didn't learn anything new and I didn't learn any new form. I'm sorry. What's the problem? Being made to do it. You didn't want to be last man standing. You didn't want to be left alone. You didn't want to have to quit. That's why you kept going. You didn't want to be a quitter. Oh, you wanted to quit. You could come up with 100 reasons why today wasn't going to be a good day. You weren't going to be a quitter.
That's very true.
So what if the statement was, I love winning?
Well, I do love winning.
Okay, so then why did you need them to help you win? This is when I'm glad I'm never in the room with you guys when I say something like this.
I suppose I did not need. I wanted.
So I want to win.
I do want to win.
Is there anything wrong with that?
No, not at all.
Awesome. So when you're outside of the exercise program, what can you win? Is there more winning that's available to you?
Oh, there's winning everywhere.
Excellent. So when do you choose to win?
Today.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah. So outside of the exercise, have you given yourself a reward for attending the first 28?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. How many days have you been in the second one, or when does that start?
Today is day number 1.
Awesome. What did you give you for committing to start?
I haven't given in myself anything for that commitment.
Awesome. I would start there then, say, because otherwise the brain is going to go, yeah, look, we're doing this again. Now we got to wait 28 days. And what if we quit in there? And then you're going to start a whole story going, well, I mean, I think we'll win and we'll get to the end. And then it'll be like, oh, this sucked and I got to do this again. So this is the only place I can win.
Wow.
Dr. Freud to the lobby. Dr. Freud to the lobby. So now that becomes an addiction. I have to be a part of this community so that I can feel like I'm winning. And that's called recognition. It's called addiction to approval. It's okay. I'm addicted to being healthy. So I take some different nutritionals that I'm addicted to get me healthy. And then when I use that, when I use it to all of its benefit that it can deliver to me, and there's a next step, I've got to say goodbye to that nutritional. Yeah, but that's not hard. You've got to say goodbye to the group.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I can hear it in your voice.
Oh, I can get it.
So what's the new story? Will you learn the functionality of how to perform your own group better by being a part of this group?
I believe so.
Okay, so then your goal through this is not the exercise and not the result that it'll do in your body, not to get your results. Your results you want are to be able to go serve more people.
Without a doubt.
So then go to this 28 days, figuring out, writing down every little snippet, every little tweak. What would you do for your community? How is this? How would be that? Oh, that's a good way to get involvement, engagement, and connection. Go as the trainer, not as the student. Be a good student and learn how to train. You're doing this online?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
Yes.
Would it be okay if people paid you to learn online?
Yes.
Okay, what are you waiting for?
That's a great question.
Oh.
That's a great question.
All right, do you have this? Do you have as much skills as the instructor?
Yes.
The instructor has one skill that you don't: leadership. The ability to lead a community online. And I bet this isn't their second one. Is this their second one, or have they done it a few times?
No, she's done it several times.
Yeah, I bet her first one sucked.
It might have. No, I wasn't there.
Imagine if it was the sucky one and you didn't show up again. So she's gotten better. And I bet this one will be better than the last one. What you want to look for is it a different modality of training, or is it going to be the same kind of training, just at a different time frame, just at a different time slot?
I don't know yet.
Okay. So you signed up for something you don't know about and hoping in that it'll give you more recognition. I love you.
I love you too.
It's neat that the universal translator translated what you really wanted to say to me, and I love you too, and I love you too.
You know, every time this happens, instead of a 2x4 to the forehead, I imagine it's a kiss on the forehead.
Good. It's awakening. I need you. I don't need them. They're good because they're fulfilling a part of you that listen, you are not going to be watching me for 28 days work out. Right?
Yeah.
You're watching her because it's something you love. It's something you can do. It's something you want to tone your body. How many people do you think are out there who would really need to, they could find a place that you would offer a space that nobody else on the world could offer? You could offer a tone. You could offer awareness. Does this woman deal in the Rife machine and special wooey, put it in this cup and in that cup out the magic thing comes? Does she deal in foot baths and nanotechnology and test tubes with radon lights in it and natural and noble gas? Does she deal with all that stuff?
No.
No. Oh, really? Wow. So you're better. And you're paying her.
a very small amount. But yes, you're right. There's a monetary exchange there.
You're paying her with 28 days of your life. That ain't a small amount, chickadee.
Well, that's true too.
And you're hoping to learn something while you already know all of this stuff. You just need the discipline.
Oh, the D word.
Ugh. So if you want discipline, I can give you that. What'd you do today? Report in every hour, closer or farther. Do what you know you need to do. You need to serve people. Well, but I don't have enough clients. Then you need to go become visible. How's your Friday masterclass going? Love you. Mwah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're great. You're all, listen, every one of you is freaking amazing. I'm not asking you to go do something you don't know how to do. I'm asking you to go do what you can do. Just go do it better. So what's your intention for this 28 days starting today?
My intention is to learn all I can from her. Not the not the exercise format necessarily, not the progressions.
Has she been doing it as long as you have? Does she have as many years in the wellness world as you do?
No.
Check,
No.
please. Check, please. So what you're hoping to go learn is the intangible.
Yes.
So your awareness is to become aware of the intangible so you can create your own tangible.
Yes.
Do you have a different energy going into today now for that class?
I do.
That's
I
the
do.
key. It's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. Your job, should you choose to accept it, mission impossible. It seems impossible, is in the next 40 days, 28-day session, 40 days, which means you have 12 days from the end of this to start your own.
Oh, I like that.
So your goal is to now take 28 and 28 is 56.
Yes.
You have 56 days of training to go start your own 28-day session. And it's not like you need to teach. What if you did a 28-day session and one person was there? You now have a recording of your 28-day session that's now a tripwire. Because they're going to get better. And then when you do your next one, that's your new tripwire. Maybe that's now your $49 28-day masterclass. And people can access it online, and it goes out in an email because it's linked to a YouTube video that's set in unlisted format. Nobody can see it unless they get the link from you, and they get the link from you, they can watch it. And that's their 20-minute session. It's a recording. It's $49. It's mailbox money. Oh, it seems so simple when you say it because it's so simple when you do it. If you want to do it, you'll figure it out.
Yes. And it's,
Figure it out.
it's the logistics. It's, it's the,
How is she doing it? What's the platform she's using for you to go watch her live every day or whatever?
She has an app. She has an app.
Oh, yeah. Well, why don't you use the app called Zoom? You don't need an app. See, we always put our limits because she wants to have something great. You'll eventually, when you pay it enough, when you do it enough, you'll have somebody OPM, other people's money, pay for your app. Other people pay for her app.
Sure.
Yeah, you're paying for her app.
And it's you talk about an unlisted YouTube. I mean, that creates entire body just resistance. Just
So
every muscle in my body tensed up when you said YouTube video that's unlisted, and they can only get it with with a link.
Have you ever clicked on a YouTube link?
Of course.
Okay. So you've clicked on a YouTube link. Do you realize it was probably unlisted?
No, I did not.
Which means that it doesn't require a password, but it's on YouTube. All you do is click a button on YouTube. You ever upload a video to YouTube?
No.
Oh, well, see, that's why you think it's crazy.
Yeah.
So do you have a YouTube page?
No.
Okay, so today here's your homework. You're going to go create a YouTube page. And if you don't know how to do it, guess what you do? Google YouTube. You can go create a YouTube page, establish it, and tomorrow morning you'll tell us what link is so we can all go like it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating.
Good. Oh, and this is over a YouTube page. You're somebody who's done 40 years of helping people have more of what they want, help them in wellness, and you can't make a YouTube page? Please give me a break. What happens if you now have a YouTube page? Oh my God, I'm going to be seen. Nobody's going to know it because you ain't going to tell anybody. Until just the fact of making a potential where you'll be seen is scaring the bejeebies out of you. Jim Rohn would say that's a clue.
Yeah.
So now you have a YouTube page. Would you like freedom?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Then that's got to be more powerful than your fear of creating a YouTube page that you're not going to tell anybody about until I tell you to tell people about it.
Okay. Okay.
Do you think it's beyond your skill to set up a YouTube page?
I won't know until I get
Do you think it's beyond your skill to set up a YouTube page? Yes or no?
No.
No. Do you know how to create a frequency to move rainfall away from a particular area?
Yes.
Wow. I'm going to ask everybody else on the panel. Do you have the capabilities to use technology to absolutely influence weather patterns? How many of you have that? Everybody's going to say none of them. So you're like this wizard. And you can't tell me that my niece, who's 7, made a YouTube page and you don't know how to?
Okay, message received.
Buckle up, Buttercup. The only reason you're attending this next 28 days is for you to create a YouTube page.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Okay. If you need any help, send me a message. I'll send Google.
Okay.
Or you can actually YouTube it. YouTube is the second search.
YouTube it. Yeah, there we go.
How do I create a YouTube page would probably be the language. So do you know how to say, let me hear you say it. How do I create a YouTube page? Could you say that? Say that for me.
How do I create a YouTube page?
So who can see your messages recording? And shared by the well, when you upload a video or when I go live, like right now, this is live, there's a place in there that I can choose whether I keep it private, unlisted, or public. These live are public. There's times where I'll do one-on-ones with you, people, and I go and I do it to YouTube, so you instantly have the recording, and I make it unlisted. Nobody can have access to that unless they get the link. So when it's done and I send you the link and it's on YouTube, you're like, oh my God, can anybody see this? You'll see it's unlisted. Nobody could Google one-on-one with Connie Fraffinger. They won't see it because it's unlisted. You can set the privacy standards. That's easy. It's just a simple click of a button. But today you'll set up a YouTube page.
Today, I will set up a YouTube page.
Yep. Because I love being seen.
Yeah, because I love being seen.
Yep.
I'm shaking my hips.
Yep.
Shaking my hips.
Shake it, baby.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's not what I signed up for.
It's exactly what I signed up for.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with yous. Love it, love it, love it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Diane, ping me if after this is good, let me know. And we'll go from there. So I'm your head brain training. Set up your YouTube page, Misfit. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
At the next event. Molly, Molly, Molly. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us all.
Peace be with us all. And the queen of helping you get yourself on YouTube, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee. And a little white fluffy.
Gurgly, gurgly, gurgly.
Gurgly, gurgly. Molly is getting so big. She can now literally like walk up onto the bed. She's huge. And she's now 5.5 months old. So she might be a monster. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Love you tons. Have a great day. Bye for now.
See y'all. Take care.
Thank you. Love you guys.